On Global TV News Prime, 2 states under curfew due to protest disaster. Minister laments NCC Park looting in Kano edifice scheduled for inauguration next week. In business, federal government to spend $7.2 billion on 2 deep-sea port projects. On the foreign scene, witness to Titan solve tragedy tells of fear and false hope. In sports, Mai Braves hands Remo Valley Jets Cup. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwebe. We would like to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365. Tonight, we'll begin by telling you security operatives have been having a tough time controlling the crowd of young persons who insisted that they would remain on the streets until their demands on an improved economy are met. The protesters, who are in hundreds, refused to retreat despite gunshots and tear gas fired by security operatives at the Federal Secretariat of the Federal Capital Territory. Edicon Michael now brings us details.
All right, what started as a peaceful demonstration earlier today has been met with a lot of resistance by the security agencies. The peaceful protesters moved from the Marshal Abiola Stadium down here to the Federal Secretariat, but unfortunately, the police started using tear gas against them, dispersing them and sending them out of the Secretariat. The protesters are saying and insisting that they are here for a peaceful protest to make their voices heard by the government. Anthony Mamodu, what is your analysis on what is actually playing out right now?
Obviously, we can tell that the government is making true its threat earlier on to meet the peaceful protest by Nigerians with force. And we've seen that happen. That was the same thing that played out when the SARS protest occurred. But this time around, Nigerians are talking about very critical issues. One of them being the fact that the cost of living is very high, the insecurity ravaging the country, also the electoral process to be cleaner and more transparent.
You can see obviously that the tear gas are being fired at the peaceful protesters, and again this is the second one, and then we are seeing 4 shots that has been taken now by the security agents, and then it's showing that the government itself is not wanting to have this protest peacefully.
Tear gas shoots against the protesters, peaceful protesters saying enough is enough to governor, poor governors, enough to hardship and enough to anger, and that's the demonstration right there. The peaceful protesters are pushing forward their demands to get the attention of the government, but the security agencies are shooting tear gas against them, resisting them from getting their demands just to the authorities. But it is, of course, just like on Liver Twist, it's never enough for them. The protest still persists for the next 10 days right here at the Federal Capital Territory. We're live here to give you some update and reactions of the people on what's happening. Video.
We don't tire. Nigerians don't tire. We don't too suffer. They should bring back subsidy. They should bring back everything that we've lost so many things.
Government should stop changing shadow. Tinubu's administration should stop changing shadow. The sponsor of this protest is hunger, anger, corruption, starvation. We are here to demand for good governance. We are here to make trouble. We are here to demand for good governance. Unfortunately, there are something like us. The good is no retreat, no surrender.
It's the right of every citizen. The citizen of this country has the right to protest. We are going on our human rights. This is our human right. We have to.
Thank you, Edicon. Protesters in their hundreds have stormed the streets of Kano to protests hunger and economic hardship across the country. The protesters also have called on President Bola Tinubu to reverse fuel subsidy removal and ensure food security and availability. Correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that isolated cases of violence and looting were reported in some parts of the state.
As early as 7 a.m., residents of Kano began to troop out from different parts of the state to join the protest. carrying placards with different inscriptions. The protesters are generally united on one common goal, targeted at forcing the federal government to reverse fuel subsidy removal and ensure food security.
Subsidy should be restored. Issue of insecurity. We thank God in Kano we are peaceful, but our neighbor, our brothers in Zamfara, Katsina, Sokoto, Kebbi, and other part of the country are in difficult situation. Their life is in danger. They cannot go to farm to produce food. So specifically, we are saying that the subsidy should, one, be restored. Secondly, the security should be restored also.
They were singing different songs, while some are reciting from the Muslims' Holy Quran. According to them, this protest is necessary, considering the current economic hardship occasioned by the fuel subsidy removal.
The purpose of coming out here is to protest, peaceful protest, peaceful protest. That's why we are out here. We are not fighting anybody. We want the government to bring back subsidy. They should bring back subsidy. People are dying of hunger. People are crying. People are dying. Enough is enough.
The protesters met at Kofar Nasarawa and then marched to the state road in their thousands. Although generally peaceful at the moment, but there were reports of violence and looting of both private and public properties in some part of the states. However, organizers of the protests have distanced themselves from any act of violence.
What we are ensuring the public is that this protest is purely peaceful. We have no intention to any violence. We protesters, we have zero tolerance of violence. So we are going to follow constitutional rights, which give us right to struggle, to say no to the government, to register our grievances. There are so many ways to challenge the government policies that will affect the life and livelihood of the people.
The crowd across Kano metropolis is unprecedented, and the protesters unrelenting in what they...
Meanwhile, security operatives have arrested more than 5 hoodlums around Audu Bako Way in Kano State who looted shops and offices around the area under the guise of hardship protests. In the course of the arrest, the security operatives were stoned and had to resort to firing tear gas to disperse the crowd that wanted to overpower them. Following the nationwide protests, Owerri, Imo State capital, has witnessed empty streets as humans and vehicular movements were scanty. At the time of filing this report, shop owners, Commercial Access Road and Ekweku markets had closed their shops. Our correspondent, Kikelomo Okere, now completes the report.
A visit to some location in Owerri witnessed that there were no businesses activities. Transportation companies along Egbu Road in Owerri were not left out, as they also shut down their motor parks. The situation was the same in the streets of Douglas, Wedra, Okigwe, World Bank, Aba Road, Owerri Port Harcourt Road. Some residents says Governor has appealed to the residents not to involve in the protest, while some says it was due to the heavy downpour.
The reason why they don't do protest today is because of this rain.
As you can see, Governor said that in most state people should not do protest. That's what he said. So you can see people, they are indoor. No one come outside.
The Imo State resident further appealed to the federal government to alleviate suffering on Nigerians.
Everybody is suffering here. The price of things are so escalating every day here. And that was why the reason this protest is going on today. So I believe that maybe they will hear the cry of the masses, because we are the one that voted them in there. So I believe that they should do something about us.
The way things is going on the country is very, very bad. It's not going well. Masses are suffering. Understand? Hungry everywhere. See, look at food. Everything is very costly. A plate of food now, they will tell you small rice. They will say 1.5 a plate. And if you eat it, you will not even belly full. So as you can see, as things is going like this, so government should know what to do for us.
It's been a rainy day in Owerri, Imo State capital, which is believed attributed to the people not coming out for the protest. But it could be recalled that the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodinma, at the stakeholders meeting urged the residents to shun violence and give the government a chance to address the economic situation of the country. From Owerri, Imo State capital, Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kikelomo, right in the heart of Owerri, Imo State capital, reporting for Global Television there. Let's turn to other stories. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Boso Tejani, has decried the destruction of a technology hub in Kano just days before its scheduled launch. The Nigerian Communications Commission Digital Innovation Park, designed to support Nigeria's Technical Talent Accelerator program, was set ablaze and looted during the protest in Kano. The incident occurred as part of wider unrests in the state where protesters had targeted the yet-to-be-commissioned Nigerian Communications Industrial Park. Meanwhile, Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf is said to have declared 24 hours curfew in the state following the degeneration of the nationwide protest. The governor made this known during a press conference held at the government house. He said after careful consideration, it has become imperative to declare a 24-hour curfew to further prevent looting and vandalization of businesses and killing of innocent citizens. Following the nationwide strike that started today, Owerri, capital of Imo State, has witnessed empty streets as human and vehicular movements were scanty. A group of Nigerians in Sokoto, northwest Nigeria, have embarked on a protest against the current state of the nation, despite pleas from the state government to cancel the demonstration. The protest aimed at drawing attention to the country's economic crisis and worsening security. From Sokoto, Lawal Aliyu filed in this report.
As of 9 a.m., the street of Sokoto remained eerily quiet, with minimal vehicle movements and no sign of protests at popular hotspots like Bello Way, Aliyu Jodi and Maituta Road. However, a visible presence of security personnel was observed at strategic locations across the city, with joint security patrols also in place. Despite the calm atmosphere, protesters eventually emerged carrying placards with various inscriptions such as "We are hungry" and "End bad governance and insecurity," among others. The protesters' chants and demands echoed through the streets, highlighting their frustrations with the current state of affairs in Nigeria.
Nigeria is suffering. Everybody knows that. Kids, children, adults, everybody, the whole Nigeria is suffering because of what? Bad government. We are tired. We are tired of everything. The poor masses are suffering because of things is very high.
Nigeria, we are suffering. No food, nothing. Source of income, everything goes down. Security, insecurity. They are killing our people, kidnapping people, killing people like flies for streets, and our parents, our younger sisters, and the little children are dying for nothing.
The demonstrators who began their march from the Sokoto central city made their way through Bello Way to Kano Road and finally converged at the Sokoto State Government House to register their grievances. From Sokoto, Lawal Aliyu, Global TV.
Thank you, Lawal. From Bauchi State, northeast Nigeria, comes a report that protesters had come out in hundreds chanting bitter slogans. Global TV correspondent Adamu Abdallah sent in this protest situation report from the capital of the state.
Hundreds of youths participated in the nationwide hardship protest in Bauchi State, northeastern Nigeria. The youth who initially converged at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium trekked about 1.5 kilometers to the Emir's Palace with placards and demanding an end to bad governance, restoration of fuel subsidy, and calling on soldiers to take over. The police had to use tear gas to disperse the teeming protesters as the protest was taking another dimension. Adamu Abdullah, Global TV correspondent from Bauchi, interviews some protesters.
And the purpose of our own protest here is not for anything, sir. It's because of the insecurity disturbance in this country, the high rates of inflation in this country, insecurity, food. A common person cannot afford food, sir. A lot of people cannot afford food, sir. A lot of people are just see this tree, sir. Just see this. A lot of people are plucking leaves from the tree for them just to eat, sir. This is not right, sir, in this country. Food. Now let me just tell you, sir, the beans, the price of beans is 2,800 naira, sir. For you to buy a cup of rice or a measurement of rice sir, is 2,200 naira, sir. What is the cost of this, sir? What is the cost of this? The government can manage this, sir. It is because of the poor governance and their own policy. So, Tinubu, you should look toward your own policy. Bring back our subsidy.
The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has promised to provide pro bono legal service for any peaceful protesters assaulted or intimidated during the nationwide hunger protest. It also directed chairpersons in all 130 NBA branches across the country to monitor the protest. The NBA president, Yakubu Mekiao, in a statement by Akorede Lawal, the association's national publicity secretary, said the measures were in recognition of the fundamental and guaranteed constitutional rights of citizens to assemble and protest. Many protesters today went berserk at the Bolonkuchu area in Maiduguri, Borno State capital, as the police officers fired tear gas to disperse them. Gunshots were also heard, however, no casualty was reported. The angry protesters in their hundreds had mounted roadblocks preventing vehicular movements and breaking windscreens of private and commercial vehicles that insisted on driving through. No fewer than 19 persons have been reportedly killed after an improvised explosive device, IED, exploded at a local joint in the Kawuri community, Konduga local government area of Borno State. The incident also injured an unspecified number of residents. The explosive device was suspected to have been planted by Boko Haram insurgents, causing chaos in the northeast. In the related developments, a 24-hour curfew has been declared in Borno State amid the ongoing hunger protests across the nation. Spokesman for the command, Nahum Kenneth Daso, who announced this in a statement, said the curfew was on the basis of security concern following the bomb explosion. Niger State Police Command has arrested 11 hoodlums in connection with the burning of part of Tafa Local Government Area Secretariat. The spokesperson for the command, SP Wasiu Abiodun, in a statement said 2 cars were also set ablaze while 2 others were vandalized, noting that the hoodlums stole valuables. The police warned the public, parents and residents to caution their words, saying that the command would not entertain violent demonstrations, destruction of public assets and looting. Some protesters have blocked the Kefi-Abuja highway, preventing motorists from plying the road. Nasarawa youths had earlier shunned the protest, however, decided to join the demonstration later in the day. The protesters, in their thousands, also set fire on the roads, threatening to beat up motorists who refused to turn back their vehicles. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has enjoined Nigerians to hold state governors accountable over the improved allocation from the Federation account. Sule stated this while answering questions in relation to the planned nationwide protests during an interview. You're watching News Prime, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, Channel 276 and DSTV, Channel 365. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Prime returns tonight, federal government to spend $7.2 billion on 2 deep sea port projects. We'll tell you about this and bring you other stories behind this short break. We urge you to stay with us.
Welcome to Bayes University, Abuja, Nigeria, with a legacy of excellence and a vision for nurturing future leaders. Bayes University is in a league of its own. We're all about our people, processes, and technology.
Bayes is one of the highly rated universities in Nigeria in terms of product quality standards.
We don't just produce graduates, but groom people into employers of labor.
And it has made us understand that learning is all about three things. We learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
Bayes University Hospital offers a range of specialized services equipped with the latest technology, manned by a team of trusted professionals. And now, our vision extends beyond our walls with the Baba Ahmed University in Kano following our lead. Join us at Bayes University and invest in your future today.
Bayes University is the institution that you will get the best value for money education in Nigeria.
Bayes University. Learn to live.
This is Global Television bringing you a live broadcast of News Prime with Uyi Agumofwewe. Thank you so very much for your time with us. Now let's turn to business. The federal government says it might be spending about $7.2 billion to complete 2 approved deep-sea ports across the country. The projects are Ibom, Badagry, and deep-sea ports. In December of 2020, Akwa Ibom State government has said the federal government approved $2.016 billion for the first phase of Ibom deep-sea port, which was estimated to cost $4.6 billion. Minister of Finance Wale Edun has announced that approximately 1 million households have benefited from the federal government's cash transfer program since its relaunch. Edun disclosed this during a press conference in Abuja, Nigeria's capital. He noted that around 300,000 payments were made in the past week, with about 5 million individuals benefiting from the scheme to date. On the foreign scene, thousands have turned out for the funeral procession in Iran of the Hamas political chief Ismail Haniyeh, who was killed in a strike in Tehran. Israel's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei led prayers for the Hamas leader, whose body will be buried in Qatar. A witness to the Titan submersible disaster talks about the fear and false hope felt by those in its support ship. Robbie Golding was on the Ocean Gates expedition when contact with the sub and its 5 passengers were lost on a dive to the Titanic in June of 2023. However, after learning the sub had imploded just hours into the dive, he said it was a comfort to know those on board had not suffered. Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro has insisted his party is ready to present all the vote tallies from the country's disputed election after the exercise observer said it could not be considered democratic. The National Electoral Council NEC declaration that Maduro won has sparked 2 days of protest, with the country's opposition saying voting tallies show its candidate Edmundo Gonzalez won by a wide margin. Hopes of finding more survivors are fading as rescue operations continue in Kerala, where massive landslides have killed 182 people. Nearly 200 people are still missing after Mondakai and Churamala areas in Wayand district were flattened by thick torrents of mud water. Rescue operations have been hampered by heavy rains in the region all week. And now in sports, Seth Mai has scored a goal in each half to help Remo Stars beat newly promoted Nigeria Premier Football League side Ikorodu City 2-0 to win the 2024 Valuejet Cup in Ikenne. The striker headed Remo Stars ahead in the 26th minute and was at the end of a rebound to make it 2-0 in the 68th minute before Otani Taufik reduced the deficit for Ikorodu City in stoppage time. Both teams entered the final with high adrenaline, having scaled through hurdles in the semis. French Ligue 1 side Nice have confirmed that Super Eagles striker Thierry Murphy has suffered an anterior cruciate ligament injury, which could sideline him for up to 9 months. Murphy joined Nice from Lorient on a record €30 million deal during the 2023 winter transfer window and has become an important member of the squad. And still talking football now, Borussia Dortmund have announced the signing of Germany midfielder Pascal Gross from Premier League club Brighton and Hove Albion on a 2-year deal. German media reported Dortmund paid a fee of up to 10 million euros, including bonuses, to sign the 33-year-old. A creative midfielder with an eye for goal, Gross joins the Champions League finalists after 7 years with Brighton, having joined from German side FC Begodast in 2017. And as we end Global Television News Prime now, let's bring you a highlight of some of our major stories. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Bosu Tijani, has lamented NCC Park looting in Kano. In business, the federal government is projected to spend $7.2 billion on 2 deep-sea port projects. On the foreign scene, witness to Titan's sub-tragedy has narrated a tale of fear and false hope. And finally, in sports, we told you Mayu Brace has handed Remo Stars ValueJet Cup. And that's all we have for you on News Prime tonight, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Just a quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using our Global TVNG and other handles as you now see on your screen. I am Uyi Agmofwebe with a big thank you to you on behalf of the entire production team here at Global Television in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, Nigeria, for spending a part of your time with us. I'll see you again.